Welcome to this week's episode of Beyond Focus TV. I'm your host, Lydia Patel, and this week I have another very special guest with me, Pamela Esposito Amery, who's the co-founder and executive director of T.E.A.L. She's coming up next, so stay with us. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Beyond Focus TV allows you to discuss contemporary topics affecting the Caribbean people on both a national and local level. The show features informed guests who offer insight, debate, and evaluate various issues. Beyond Focus TV builds on the station's mission to provide useful information to the Caribbean people in New York and abroad. Beyond Focus TV, where our viewing audience can get educated, informed, and empowered. Welcome back. I'm Lydia Patel, and you're watching Beyond Focus TV. And like I said, you're going to be spending the next 30 minutes with me as we go interactive with my guest for the evening, Pamela Esposito Amery. She's the co-founder and executive director of T.E.A.L, but she's going to tell us what it's all about. Pamela, welcome to Beyond Focus TV.
Thank you for having me.
So why don't we get straight into it? Why don't you tell us exactly what T.E.A.L stands for?
Sure. Well, T.E.A.L is the national color for ovarian cancer. It symbolizes ovarian cancer. And when my sister Louisa was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, we were all sort of in shock and realized that, you know, she's a woman that would go for her annual screening. She went to the doctor, she did what she was supposed to, and she still got this disease at a late stage because there's no screening tests. So we decided, you know, when she was in the hospital, let's go attend one of those cancer walks. We live in New York City. There's got to be an ovarian cancer walk. There's walks for everything, or there's events for everything. And we really had trouble finding one. So T.E.A.L stands for Tell Every Amazing Lady About Ovarian Cancer, Louisa M. McGregor Ovarian Cancer Foundation. We go by T.E.A.L or T.E.A.L Walk, and we started a foundation because we just couldn't find the resources that we needed, and here we are.
So your sister really was the inspiration behind all of that, and that's amazing. Usually that's what it is. A family member or close friend who suffered from the disease would be the one to push this. How long was her battle with it?
Just under 4 years. She, you know, as soon as she was diagnosed, we both, you know, jumped into this and felt like we needed to let other women know about it, and we had lots of help and lots of volunteers who supported us, and she worked tirelessly throughout all of her treatments.
So let everybody know how trying it was for those 4 years to be searching for resources and not being able to find it. You basically had to create your own.
Yes. Yeah, there were definitely some challenges. There was a lot of work, and there still is a lot of work. You know, starting a nonprofit is not an easy task. We didn't exactly set out to do that. We set out to just have an event. We wanted to have a walk in Prospect Park, which is called the T.E.A.L Walk, and that was our original mission. Let's just, you know, do a big fundraiser. We'll take over Prospect Park and have a walk. And we had a pretty clear vision that we saw a lot of people coming to this event. And before we knew it, we were starting a foundation, and people were helping us. Volunteers were coming out of everywhere that we turned, and community supporters, you know, everyone wanted to help us, local businesses. And we really just continued to grow and escalate because there really was a need for this, where women just don't know enough about ovarian cancer, or those who have been touched by ovarian cancer just don't know where to turn and don't know how to get help, or, you know, even if it's not a woman who's diagnosed, the family members want somewhere to go and a community of people that can help them. So we managed to sort of fit into this little niche, I guess you can call it, of a need for the community. And, you know, there's definitely ups and downs, but we're doing great so far.
So currently, what is the mission? I know the original mission, what it was, like you said, originally it just was going to be a walk. Fast forward a couple years later, what's the current mission?
T.E.A.L's mission is to enable early detection, to raise awareness, and to raise money for research.
And that's good, because all three of those things are going to help prolong somebody's life. You could save a life. So that's very, very important. Give us some background information on ovarian cancer.
Sure. There's a lot of misconceptions. A lot of people think, you know, I had my mammogram, I took care of, you know, breast cancer screening, I had my colonoscopy, I took care of colon cancer, and let me go to the gynecologist and I'll have my pap smear and I'm all set for the year. That's a big misconception for ovarian cancer. When you have your pap smear, it is only checking for cervical cancer. It is not checking for ovarian cancer. There is no screening for ovarian cancer. So it's very important that people know the signs and the symptoms. You might have some risk factors in your family, and you also should be able to ask your doctor for some tests. Again, there is no screening test for ovarian cancer, but there are a few things that you can ask your doctor for, namely, you can ask for a blood test called the CA-125 test, which it's just like getting your cholesterol checked. It's just an extra blood test you can ask during your exams. Again, it's not a perfect test, but sometimes it can show some red flags. And then also a transvaginal ultrasound and a pelvic rectal exam as well can help if there's some risk factors or you're experiencing some of the symptoms. And some of the symptoms are they're very vague and they can be misdiagnosed because it's a lot of problems that most women have.
And that's what I was going to say. Sometimes a lot of these things, a lot of symptoms, like generally with a lot of other illnesses, cross over. So it doesn't mean it's specifically to that, but definitely share some of those with us.
Yeah. So things that are new to you and new to your body, and something's not right, maybe these symptoms are lasting more than 2 weeks. That's when you should see the doctor and mention them. So frequent urination, bloating, feeling really full after you ate a small meal, pelvic pain, abdominal pain, even some back pain. What woman doesn't have some of those symptoms? It's, can be normal for some women, but you really should check with your doctor if you're having, a combination of some of them. If it's new for you, if it's lasting for more than 2 weeks, definitely, ask your doctor to prove to you that this is not ovarian cancer, especially if you even have it in your family, or if you have breast cancer or colon cancer also in your family. Sometimes those are elevated risk factors as well.
Now, why do you believe, in your opinion, that there hasn't been any screening developed for this? I mean, we're in 2013, we're going into 2014. There still isn't a screening for this.
It's very difficult. For my knowledge and everything that I'm trying to do, where we actually choose where some of our research money goes to, so we are speaking to a lot of doctors and hospitals and trying to learn more about that. It's a very, very difficult disease to detect. I don't think it's because of, lack of resources and funding. I actually think the science of it is just very difficult. Again, those symptoms are kind of vague. Things are caught a little bit later. They just haven't figured it out in the labs yet. Funding will absolutely help, and the more women ask their doctors about this, well, why isn't there a test? There'll become more of a demand for it.
We'll be able to get a demand for it. We'll hold that thought. We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel, and we're sitting down with Pamela Esposito Amery, the co-founder and executive director of T.E.A.L. Tell every amazing lady about ovarian cancer. I love it because it just shares so much insight on this. And as a female, a young woman, I wanted to get more insight on this as well. So what is their minimum age? What should women be looking out for more?
Yeah, I mean, over the years, we've been around for about 5 years now, we've had people contact us at every age. A lot of cancers, they say over 50, your risk factors. I mean, if you really read some of the statistics, they will tell you over 40, over 50, and once someone's hitting menopause, it could become more common. But we have women who come to our events 20 years old, 25 years old. We had someone email us who was 13 years old. The mother contacted us. I mean, it can hit at any age. Cancer's cancer. So it doesn't matter how old somebody is. It really comes down again to the signs, the symptoms, the risk factors. Just be aware of your body and try to get it at an earlier stage instead of when it's too late. So the more awareness and more information we can get out there is so important to us.
And since it is cancer, is it the typical treatments that are used to still treat it?
Somewhat. There's not enough chemos that actually work for ovarian cancer, so usually there's, if it's caught at a later stage, and that's anything like stage almost 3 and up, there's about a 5-year survival rate. So those chemos, again, I'm not a doctor, but from my experiences, people, struggle and try to fight it past that 5-year mark, but it's difficult to see people past 5 years unless you're caught at an earlier stage. It's not a death sentence. If it is caught at an earlier stage, like I know many who have, we have a lot of volunteers who have been 20-year survivors and, caught at different ages and have been able to continue a wonderful, healthy life after 15 years, 20 years, because it was caught earlier. So as far as treatment goes, it's a lot like any cancer. Just depends on the person, what stage it was caught, how aggressive the disease is.
Absolutely, and thanks so much for sharing that, because a lot of people, they think that different cancers, there's different treatments, but at the nuts and crux of it, it still is just the cancer.
Yes.
So you have to treat it as if that's exactly what it is. I wanted to go into some of the board members of T.E.A.L and get into some of the organizational functions of it. So
Sure.
Share that with us.
Yeah, we actually just added a new scientific advisory board member, Dr. Samantha Cohen from Maimonides Hospital. We're very excited to share that news. We also have Dr. Elizabeth Pointer from Lenox Hill. We have Dr. Sharon Lewin from New York Presbyterian Hospital. And a lot of the other board members, there's some friends, there's some families, members. There's also people in the community who have been with us from day one. So people like Phyllis Bellacchio, we've got Gina DiFilippo. My mom and dad are actually on the board as well.
Gotta love mommy and daddy coming on board.
Yes. So it's Annette Abel is somebody else too. So we've, John McGregor, who was Louise's husband. It's really a lot of hard work. Everyone that helps us, even outside of the board, are very dedicated volunteer members as well. Throughout the year, there's just so much work to be done, and we are a really small organization when it comes to staff. It's myself and one part-time helper who works out of my home office. So anything else that we're able to accomplish is really on a volunteer basis, and the board works really hard throughout the year. So that's how we're making things happen.
That's great. And when you talk about making things happen, elaborate on that.
Sure. Well, what we're known for, and again, how it started was because of this T.E.A.L walk, which is actually now a 5K run. For the first time this past September, we also added a run to it. So our premier annual event every September. September is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, so it's a huge event in Prospect Park, the T.E.A.L walk and T.E.A.L run now. We have thousands of people who come out to the park. We have, not only is it a walk or run, but there's also a stage program, there's educational booths, there's giveaways. It's just a really fun day for the whole entire family, face painting, you name it. It's a great time. So that's what we focus on throughout most of the year, getting people involved in that event. And then we also do smaller events. We have a comedy show coming up in November at the Metropolitan Room in Manhattan. You can actually buy tickets on our website. There's also a brunch that we did this spring. And something that was also pretty exciting for us, 2 years in a row now, we've teamed up with the New York Mets to turn Citi Field teal. So out in Citi Field, last year was the first time they had ever recognized an Ovarian Cancer Awareness Day, and we worked really closely with them. So we even chose who sang the national anthem. We had an award down on the field.
Wow.
It was a really big deal to have people wearing teal in the stadium. So whatever we can do for awareness, there are some events that happen throughout the year.
And how did that make you feel? Because that has to be a big moment when you take over a stadium.
Yeah.
The Mets, it's New York, you're representing, and that's home, you know, and you look across and you see an entire team and the whole field covered in teal. Yeah. That has to make you feel good.
It was. We were very proud, absolutely, to have that. It was a huge accomplishment for us, and to have people leave the stadium knowing a little bit more was really exciting for us.
That is truly, truly amazing. And I know on the website, because, as a woman, I like to go shopping. So you can actually go shopping on the T.E.A.L website. Why don't you share that with us?
Sure, yeah. We are selling a lot of items that have our lip logo, which is for Tell Every Amazing Lady. We've got these lips that are very popular. We have, T-shirts and tote bags and things with that message on it, which we find, hopefully pretty trendy, and people really like that. So at least it's fun and can get the message across. Plus, we've also partnered with a lot of organizations as well who might donate part of the proceeds to a sale of an item, and that's also linked on our website as well.
That is great. Wanted to go into the challenges. because a lot of people don't really understand just how hard it is. It's not just about getting people to donate, getting the word out there, but how you get the message out there. And it does cost a lot to try to really promote your brand, whether it's an organization or a business. So share everybody some of the struggle that's been.
Sure. Well, we started out with a zero budget and no funding, and we, just tried and tried and tried, and it's really that simple. I mean, we somehow got lucky because so many people have supported us, and it's donor giving that has brought us to this level. We haven't received any grants. We don't have an official spokesperson. We don't really have a major corporate funding of any kind. It's really, we're surviving because of donor donations, which is from the community. Some corporations have teamed up with us and given us some, products or items that we can have, supplies for our events and things like that. But it's just amazing what we've been able to accomplish just from the community really helping us. So that's a huge challenge and a huge struggle for sure. We are working on getting some more funding in any capacity that we can, and welcome any kinds of partnerships from, local stores, schools, organizations, and you name it. People have just come out from everywhere who've wanted to help us, and there's so many opportunities on ways that they can help.
Well, at the end of the program, we'll definitely let everybody know how they can get involved with T.E.A.L, whether it's on a participation level, if they want to donate. We'll definitely get into and with that by the end of the show for sure.
Right. Great.
But why did you all decide to choose a grassroots approach?
By no other choice. We really just didn't have another opportunity. We didn't feel like, I guess the only other approach that we could have done was to maybe just partner with another nonprofit that exists already and just, cut them a check and donate some money to them. We really felt like we had a strong message and we wanted to get that out. So, starting out with no funding and not a lot of help, and somehow feeling like we had a special message that was different than another organization's.
Absolutely.
This is the route we took. We felt, we had a mission and we needed to go with it.
Hey, you got the Mets. I think it worked.
Yeah. Not bad, right?
Not too bad. And you decided to do the run in Prospect Park. A lot of people, that's Brooklyn. That's home.
Yeah.
That's home for you too, right?
Absolutely. So my sister and I are born and raised in Brooklyn, and just felt, Prospect Park, why not? We didn't need to go anywhere else. It's a great place. It's beautiful, and it was easy and convenient for us at the same time, but, why do we need to go anywhere else?
I mean, you got it right here. We'll hold that thought. We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. We'll come back and wrap up the third segment and let you know how you can get involved with T.E.A.L. Keep right here. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I've got Pamela Esposito Amery, co-founder and executive director of T.E.A.L. And before we wrap it up, it's the last segment, but we want to get into more details. We were just talking about Brooklyn. You had a wonderful 5K run and a walk, but you also was at Borough Hall. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, we're so excited that this year, for the first time, we actually partnered with Brooklyn Borough Hall to turn Borough Hall teal. So the building actually lit up the color teal on September 3rd to kick off Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. So that was a huge accomplishment. Marty Markowitz was, always a supporter to us. He's been to all of our walks and most of our events too. So this was just a natural fit, and we, why not? We're in Brooklyn, between Prospect Park and Borough Hall. We're really trying to get the message out across the borough.
And now that you did talk about events, I know that was September being a huge, huge month. Any other events we should look out for between now and the end of 2013?
So we have a comedy night that's coming up in November at the Metropolitan Room. There's no other T.E.A.L per se event, but at the end of the year, there's always an opportunity to donate, and you can get a tax write-off by the end of the year. I know that's important to a lot of people to choose a charity before the year's end. Definitely to consider us. And throughout the year, I'm always speaking at schools and health fairs, and you can find us, maybe even in your community, reaching out and having information that we're handing out about signs and symptoms.
Absolutely. And I know social media is a huge, huge way to get in contact with everybody. Everybody somehow is on social media. So why don't you share your Facebook, your Twitter information with us?
Sure. On Twitter, we're at T.E.A.L Walk, and on Facebook, it's Facebook/T.E.A.L Walk, and that's TEALWALK. Our website is www.tealwalk.org. And we just started an Instagram account. I think it's T.E.A.L Walk.
That's going to be fun, because when you're in the middle of your run, in the park and at events, snap a picture and you can get to do that. That's absolutely great. Looking forward to that. 2014, what seems to be a little things that are lined up for us?
Yeah, well, we're definitely going to have a huge T.E.A.L Walk and run, so it'll be a 5K run again, and we're just so excited to get more runners involved. We'll probably be having a brunch again. We had it at the El Carib last year, and it might possibly be in Brooklyn again. And we'll see what else comes up for next year, for sure. Just, more events and more opportunity for awareness.
Now, it's just customary here on Beyond Focus TV that we got to ask you two questions. So the first one I want to get your opinion on is texting and driving. What do you have to say about that?
I think it's horrible. I would compare it to drinking and driving. If you're distracted, if you're looking down, you're just, have that opportunity to have problems.
Are you a driver in the city?
I am. I do drive.
Not even a little glance down?
It's hard sometimes. I'm pretty good about that. Even if the phone rings, I won't touch it. If I'm driving, I'm driving. That's it. You pull over and wait.
Very, very good. And what is your take on the inevitable stop and frisk? It's a hot topic. It's election year.
It is a hot topic. At times I'm back and forth on it. I do think maybe in the end I lean more towards it's a good thing. I think it's nice to just have everybody, what if someone's going to stop you? It just might have in the back of your head that, you won't do something or, hold back on something that could be a problem that would arise. I don't know. I just think in some capacity, it would be better.
Okay, well, you passed the two questions that we have to do. Now back to regular programming.
Okay.
Before I let you go, I know as with any organization, it's a team effort, and this is a huge team effort. Anybody that you want to give a special thank you to?
Sure, yeah. Our countless volunteers who work so hard, at our events and throughout the year. People just give so much of their time and their energy to us, and all of our board members, they're working 24 hours a day sometimes, especially days before our events. They're very dedicated. So I do thank everyone who's helped us to get this far. And T.E.A.L is a family. T.E.A.L is a community. It's everyone who's been involved, even all of our supporters. I thank all of them.
Very good. And overall, is there a message that you want to convey to the viewers of Beyond Focus TV and anybody else who may be watching this? Just a wrap up. Anything key factors that you want to let everyone know about?
Sure. If anybody in your family has ever had breast, ovarian, or colon cancer, you might want to consider genetic testing. You definitely should stop at our website, tealwalk.org, to look more about the signs and symptoms and some resources that might be available to you. And just be aware of your body. Listen to your body. If something is bothering you, and it doesn't even have to be, gynecological. It could be anything. If it's going on for more than 2 weeks, you should just see your doctor and just take charge of your own health.
That is great, and definitely seeing the growth. How do you feel as the executive director, just looking at how from when this started to now? Give us how your feelings on all of this.
Yeah, I'm very proud. I do say there's definitely some proud moments, especially turning Borough Hall T.E.A.L. It was just like, hey, Brooklyn, it was a cool accomplishment. So challenges up and down. I have good days, bad days, but overall feel really good about where we're headed and where we've come.
Do you think your sister's proud?
Definitely. Absolutely.
Very, very good. I got the 1 minute sign. Give us a Facebook, Twitter, and website once again.
tealwalk.org is our website. At T.E.A.L is our Twitter. And Facebook/T.E.A.L is our Facebook page. And at Instagram, it's at T.E.A.L.
Well, that wraps up this week's episode of Beyond Focus TV. That was our lovely guest, Pamela Esposito Amery, who's the co-founder and executive director of T.E.A.L, Tell Every Amazing Lady About Ovarian Cancer. Definitely want to get in on that walk. I'm a runner myself, so looking forward to next year's, and I'll make sure to wear my T.E.A.L with you.
Great.
All right, keep it locked right here. You are watching Beyond Focus TV. Until next week, I'm Lydia Patel. Stay with us.
Beyond Focus TV show wants and needs your feedback. Did we blunder? Please let us know so we can improve. Was the show helpful to you? Drop us a note so we can share the success with our staff members. Is there something you think we could do better? We welcome new ideas and new approaches to old ideas. Do you have a great suggestion? Let us know and we'll work on it. If you would like to share your comments anonymously, please send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. If you want to get in touch with the executive producer directly, send him an email at gene@beyondfocusmedia.com. We really look forward to hearing from you.